giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Make sure you hit the like button, share this video if you haven't. Hornets, the Charlotte Hornets. You disappointed me. I know it's preseason. I get it. But when you give up 41 points, when you lose 134 to 93, that's embarrassing. And shout out to the brother Dextorius Crockett. I love saying that name, Dextorius Crockett. That was embarrassing. Lamelo Ball. This was not his most efficient game. He shot 5 for 19. The Hornets need him in the regular season to have impact. And one thing about Lamelo is the fact that I never worry about um, him coming back from a bad game. Oh yeah, Dex. This is from my phone, so I'm not doing StreamYard. So there's no like I'm doing this right from the phone. Stay tuned until I think I'm trying to do this tomorrow night when I get my Wi-Fi. Once I get my Wi-Fi, then I'll do StreamYard from my computer, uh, and I'll send the link. Muhammad says, greetings, brother DJ from Uganda. Shout out to Uganda. Peace and blessings, peace and love to you, my brother. But what did I tell you guys before the season? This roster is trash. And you saw it yesterday. LaMelo he was just trying everything to make a play. It's just his shots weren't falling. And this is why I told you, and Coach Joyce mentioned this as well. LaMelo needs to average 25 or more points a game to keep the Hornets afloat. I try to tell you all that the Eastern Conference has improved tenfold. No more cupcake games this season in the East. The Hornets didn't even look like a bona fide NBA team out there. Shout out to the homie the Pope, man. Uh, he just keeping it real. He said trash performance from Lamelo. It was not a good performance from Lamelo. Y'all know how we do in the RawTruth media. We're not going to sugarcoat, no matter if it's our favorite player or players that we're rooting on. I'm not going to sugarcoat. The Pope ain't going to sugarcoat. You know, Coach Joe is not going to sugarcoat a damn thing. Shout out to Flight Sports TV. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Shout out to the Pope B. Frank. If you want raw, unfiltered, straight up basketball talk, you get that with the Pope B. Frank. And Dextorius Crockett, man, we call him All Access Dex. He's the inside man. He knows more than most. He says, "Yep, you said it. Melo and Jello, Jim putting up shots. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're hitting shots right now. Forget that 100 shots, probably 1,000 shots. And for Jello, I gotta say this. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, family, but when I saw Jello in the court, I didn't see confidence from him. I didn't see confidence from Jello. When he was shooting, it didn't look like he was on rhythm. He looked like he was pressing for just to make a bucket, just to press. Jello needs to realize this blessing that he has. And shout out to his brother LaMelo Ball, and shout out to Rock Nation, helping him get on this training camp preseason squad. He got to realize he has to take a position. So Jello has to do things that other players are not doing. He has to hustle more. He has to make his shot. And I told someone this on the phone, and they were telling me, well, Jello don't have to shoot 40+%. I said, the hell he does. To all my hoopers who are listening, if you ain't got handles or offensive creativity, you better shoot 40+%. We got 20 plus people in the chat. Make sure it's 20 plus likes. The post said Melo needs to get in the weight room. Oh, yeah, he gotta get stronger. I think he will in time. But you saw in this game, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, they're physically fit. They're strong as an ox. Uh, they just look like grown men on that court. Muhammad said the Hornets was vibeless. Yeah, no energy at all. Yeah, getting rid of the ball. KX96. Yep. KX96 says, what the heck was book night on? I hope that performance was confidence this year. Hopefully Clifford will continue to give experience. And um, I know a lot of people are going to blame Steve Clifford, but really, he showed you a glimpse of what he's going to do. He gave LaMelo the shots. It's just the shots weren't falling. So he gave the players the shots. Uh, he allowed Booknight to shoot a lot as well. So he's doing his job as a coach. Again, this is on management. This is on Mitch Kupchak. This is on Michael Jordan on not putting an adequate team around LaMelo, not putting a talented team for Steve Clifford to mold. This is what Steve Clifford got to deal with. This is a trash ass team. Think about it. LaMelo shot, and this is a preseason game, and LaMelo didn't even play, like, he only played preseason numbers. So, if LaMelo played 25 tonight, which I expected from a Steve Clifford team, that tells you in the regular season he's going to play in the mid 30s or higher. So, he's giving LaMelo the minutes, he's giving LaMelo the shots for preseason. LaMelo shot 19 attempts. So, what it tells you is Steve Clifford is buying into LaMelo. The problem is this team is not good at all. Real since day one says prepare for a sorry season. Hornets are going to be one of the worst teams in the league. Hope the number one pick. Hey man, if the Hornets have that bad season, I'm not going to trip on it. I'm gonna let you know. I'm not going to trip on it because you can only control what you control. You look at this roster and you come to a realization that you can't win with a roster like this at all. You can't win with a roster like this. Von Wilkes says they're gonna suck without Miles Bridges. Yeah, that's a tough loss. That is a tough loss, man. And Rap Guy says Jello needs to just become a spot up shooter and defend the small forwards. That's actually what he. You know what, Rap God? I mentioned it, and some people thought I was over critiquing Jello, but I was just pointing out what Jello needs to do to stay on the NBA roster. If you think about it, all Jello has to do is just take that 15 spot. It's not easy. Dennis Smith Jr., you know he got a spot. Dennis Smith Jr. was one of the few players who was efficient. He shot 4 for 9, had 8 points, had some key defensive plays, a couple of assists, and Dennis Smith Jr. could play point guard and shooting guard, so he's versatile. David Haynes says at this stage, there is no room for complacency, being off rhythm, do whatever it takes to stand out, show out. If he gets cut, he has no one to blame but himself. No favors anymore in Performance G. Um, if Jello is reduced to the G League, you cannot blame Steve Clifford. I repeat, if Jello goes to the G League, you can't blame Steve Clifford. because Steve Clifford is doing everything possible to give these young players a chance. How many players they played last night? Like 20 plus? It seemed like it was 20 plus. So you can't fault him for that. And he allowed Jello to shoot multiple threes, which is three. Some people will say, "Oh, that's just three shots." But man, there's most times that backups don't even get those attempts. Rap guy says Dennis Smith Jr. played a good, played good giving Jello the ball. Yeah, Dennis Smith Jr. was trying to feed Jello. Um, Dennis Smith Jr. played unselfish basketball, and he will make this roster. He's super athletic, and people forget when Dennis Smith Jr. was with the Mavericks, he was very dependable. He scored 14 points per game. I know people are like that's not 20 points per game, but there's some point guards that didn't even sniff that number. But been into some bad situations playing for the Knicks. You know what the Knicks is. Nothing against the Knicks, but you know what that organization is. Rap guy says Melo won't shoot this bad again during the next game. I think Lamelo's going to recover. Meta World says, would a bad season for the Hornets diminish Lamelo's value? Lamelo's going to get the bag no matter what. These NBA teams, they know what a good team is and what a bad team is. They know the Hornets roster is garbage, and they're not going to do anything. They're not going to determine that. They're not going to be like, oh, we're not going to give Lamelo a bad because they're not winning. There's a lot of teams in the NBA that can use LaMelo services. Dex says Jello moved up on the depth chart 11 to 15. Don't get reckless on Jello. Brother, I don't think anyone's being reckless on Jello. I'm just saying for him to keep a roster spot, you can't go. He has some good looks. He got to make that shot. And the good thing about the Ball family, when they play a bad game, they don't make excuses. Lonzo don't make excuses. LaMelo damn sure don't make excuses. And Jello, they don't make excuses. Uh, we're rooting for Jello, but we know he cannot be shooting like that. Those are some damn good looks. You got to shoot in your 40%. And what people got to realize, since Jello is a free agent, right? He's not a person that was drafted. His journey is different from others. Jello can't afford. Y'all know I'm right. He can't afford to just shoot um, 30, what, in the low 30s. You can't afford to do that if he didn't get drafted. He's on a non-guaranteed deal. I repeat, Jello's in a non-guaranteed deal. So he's got to take it. Nothing is given to anybody. The NBA is a grown man's game. People trying to feed their family, trying to rectify the generational poverty curse that their family has. You can't miss open shots. David Haynes says, DJ, my manners, welcome back. I'll be locked in all season. Keep up the good work. Yeah, once I get my Wi-Fi into my place, then I'm gonna be doing live streams. Coach Joe definitely the OG. Man, I'm telling y'all, Coach Joe, he gonna turn up this season. I've been talking with him on phone calls. He's itching to get back and doing the streams. The Pope says Jello was horrible. Yeah, Jello's shot was off. We can't cap on that. His shot was off. Shout out to my brother Juju. He says, salute DJ, keep doing your thing. Appreciate that, my brother, man. And subscribe to his channel if you haven't, man. Meta says, honestly, I think he needed to get bigger G League minutes, more experience. Yeah, y'all hit the like button, man. We got 40 plus people on the live right now. Master Lock, appreciate you, my brother. He said, yeah, definitely missed the stream, bro. Happy to have you back. Thank you, man. Thank you for rocking with the channel. Slash says Lamelo is found. He'll bounce back. And like I said at the beginning of the video, when Lamelo has off games, I don't really worry about it too much. I will point it out. I'm not gonna pillow talk this stream and say, oh, he had an okay game. No, that wasn't a good game by him. But Lamelo has shown the ability to bounce back, so I'm not worried about it. David Haynes says, I give the first game performance to nerves. Sometimes when you try too hard, you mess up. He's expected to do better next game. Exactly. Man, this NBA is no joke. These young players that are coming in, they're looking to make a name for themselves. They're looking to. I was watching the Rockets, man, and Jabari Smith. He looked like he just came out of a lab or something, like a creative player. This next generation of hoopers ain't playing around. That's why the undrafted free agents they gotta step up and take a position. The Pope said it wasn't the bad game for me, but it was his strength still not there. Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying, Pope. Yeah, y'all continue to hit the like button. Share this video if you haven't shared this video throughout all social media platforms. Uh, yeah, even Kenny Lofton Jr. was bullying vets. Yeah, Kenny Lofton Jr. was never drafted, but he looks like someone that's going to either get a two-way contract or make the 15-man roster. He is taking people's hearts out there. Kenny Lofton Jr., that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. You got to take a position. Shout out to the brother Show 305 time, Coach Ant Learn. He said, what's good, DJ? He also saluted the Pope. Shout out to the Pope, man. He said, the Pope says, book is, I said from the jump. Yeah, it wasn't a good game for Book like that. Hopefully he bounced back. Master like said, the Hornets look like it's going to be a lottery year. If it's a lottery year, I would hate that because I know how the old media will be. They will blame Lamelo, but they know this team ain't good enough. KX96 says, Book is a bucket. I don't know what happened. I think when you play with JB, Coach JB, James Borrego, and when he had a head coach that takes away all your confidence, it's gonna be a while for him to adjust. Luckily, Steve Clifford seems like a coach. He gave Book like the minutes. He gave him what, like 20 something minutes. He gave him the shots. So uh, again, it looks like to me that that this is gonna be a long season. Uh, and Learn says, when the Hornets play again, I was in the gym, so I missed the game. Yo, family, when the Hornets play again, I've been moving and stuff. I saw the replay of that last night's game. Ollie Payne says, to be honest, dude dropped 30 the first game. I thought he would show some boogie with the new coach. Yeah. Rap guy says 2023 draft is loaded. It is draft. It is a loaded draft. If you want to tank or if you want to have a bad season, this will be the year. Okay, Rap guy said the Hornets next game is versus the Raptors October 7th, Wednesday. With the roster, they need to trade away Terry and Gordon Hayward and tank for a lottery pick. Actually, that's not a bad idea. But coach, you know what challenge they're gonna say? They're gonna say, why would you be for tanking? when you know your roster's not good enough to compete at a high level, it's just the reality. Trust me, no one in this panel, no one in the chat wants the Hornets or Lamelo Ball to be associated with losing. But this is not a winning roster at all. But hopefully the Hornets can rectify and show some promise. It's gonna be a long season. I'm not gonna cap for y'all. But when I get this Wi-Fi back on, tune in for me and Coach Joe to go live. I'll let y'all know when that happens. And y'all stay blessed, man. I'm about to run some errands. Peace and blessings. Peace and love to everybody. And I'm out.